Well, folks, it's me again, and how are we doing? Okay, my phone here. Now, there's a very interesting thing here is I'm going to show you. Electricity household, like apartments and flats. Now, here's a real reason: is it's your fuse box, your lights, plugs, sockets, and switches. 2.5 cable sockets on plug sockets on wall, and 2.10 trip switch breakers for the lights and ceilings and switch. And sometimes you get 30 the biggest the RCDs for showers and electric cookers and electric ovens. Right, now basically let's get down here to chase. Now this thing here, right, you're looking at here, the electricity meter. I had her up on the background there in the last videos I've done. You maybe have seen this before hanging up, and you maybe have seen this other thing up hanging up on the back, up on the wall in the background. I've done the last videos. Now here's the thing, here's an interesting thing. Okay, interesting thing. This here, if you wonder what this is, if nobody knows what this is, and you could put an Allen key into that, and you just turn off and turn off main switch, or the main shutdown, or the main breaker, wherever you might want to call this. Now the other thing is, and this electricity meter here, and that was me old electricity meter, my old type of electricity meter and for network. 3 years ago they came around and installing new update electricity meters, smart meters, and they took this one out. So I asked them could I have it, so they gave it to me. So I'd stuck it up on my wall, stick all these little parts and pieces up on my wall. Now these wires coming out, you have the main live and the main neutral, and then you have the other output main live wire and the other main put neutral wire. It goes this way and this way, and sometimes you get the earth connected to the neutral from the main part of this. Sometimes there's a lid on that, and there's sometimes a seal that you can't access into that. Only the like the ESB networks, they can access into that themselves. That's their like ESB property. They only access into that themselves. When because sometimes it has a cap on it and it has a seal on it. That means do not break the seal. If you do break the seal, it means it's breaking the law. Now there's an interesting thing here, as you see there, it's kind of live, neutral, and earth. So yeah, as you can see. Now what the thing is too is, say if you put the neutral in, sorry, I should have said live in, and say neutral in, and then earth in. So say that's connected off the main electricity meter power supply, and that's the part of the power supply. And this part here, say this is your main fuse coming from underground cables, under road ground cables, overhead cables from the power pole, from the network poles. So that comes from this part here. Say this is the big, just say this is the big main part, so that comes from that. Say just say that comes from that, and that has a seal on it. You do not open the main fuse part. That's coming feeding from underground cables, overhead power lines from the network poles. Now I'll just put my phone there for a sec. I'll just leave my phone there for a sec. Now from the electricity meter, and goes onto that thing I showed you. As I said a few minutes ago, you see it in the background when I done my last videos. So in my electricity network, my home network is actually 240 volts. 240 volts normally for AC for a household. So this one here, the electricity meter, that was 220 volts. It says here 220 volts on the glass, and sometimes you have the coin thing goes around, the coin spins around. And this here, say a fuse box, you take the cap off and put this down. It's there. And sometimes this is your main fuse. These are old ones. This is our main fuse, and sometimes you close that up, and you close that up. Some this doesn't close up because these are all old stuff. Now, this is inside the fuse box, and you'd have neutrals go together, blue wires go together, and all the green and yellow wires go together, the earth go together, and this side here, all the neutrals go together, and then you have a hot wire bar, live wire goes to the breakers, to the trip switches, and same at the top here, and then it goes into the main fuse force. Now, one of the particular reason is, so say this is your wire live earth neutral comes from this side, from that, and on this side where I showed you put the earth live neutral in, and it goes into your fuse box, and the live goes to the main switch or to the fuse like this that you could knock off, and then the neutral goes to the parts here, and the other parts outside, and then the earth goes there. All the earths go together from the sockets, plug socket walls and light switches. And some of the lights on the ceilings don't have earth, some of them do have earth. What way they rig the wires, because sometimes in the wire, and the wires, the green and yellow wire earth, and blue and brown wire. So before that, there was the old black and red wires. They don't do black and red wires anymore. Now they do brown and blue and green and yellow wires. Now, say if you put this box back on, I just go and keep it there like that. Keep it there like that. Now, that's the power supply that comes into the household from a network pole, underground cables into the household. It goes into your meter. It reads in there all your digital numbers. It tells you what comes up on that. All the numbers comes up and tells you how much you're using. And this here will show you. So when this here, it's what I showed you there a few minutes ago. You put the Allen key, and then when you turn it on, and the fuse box comes on and spreads out all over the house, every room and every landing, rooms, bathrooms, lights, plug sockets and walls, and cookers and showers, electric showers and electric cookers, and they had to be like a big RCD trip switch, and these are the trip switches. Sometimes, now, the reason thing is doing a bit of electrical work, and they have to be rigged up safe by qualified electricians. Work safe. But sometimes the wires could be rigged up wrong way around, and sometimes electricity can cause fires anyway, which they do. So it has to be rigged up safely. Now, this thing in here I'm showing you, putting the Allen key in, the main switch. So that's on, so I turned it on, so the fuse box is on. So if you want to put in place a new fuse box, if you send the electrical contractors come out to put a new fuse box in, say this is old, you want to update new fuse box, best thing to do to have this, I think it's safely to have this, where putting the Allen key is. So I have something like that in my network. That was put in when they were installing the new electricity meters 2 or 3 years ago, and my new electricity meters is a smart meter. So they installed it in about 3 years ago. So they don't use these kind of electricity meters anymore, because that's my old electricity meter from my network, from my house. So mine is the one I have now. It's a smart meter, and it has this thing there, something like that. I'm showing you when I stick the bar through this thing there, in case you wonder what this is. And so sometimes you shut it off, the main switch or the main breaker or shutdown switch, whatever you might call this yourselves, like I said. So if you were to, and say if you turn it back on, right, if you were to change the fuse box, get rid of this, put an update new fuse box in, thing is, you see, you can't access into the electricity meter. That means if you broke into the electricity meter, or you could end up in court, or you can end up with fine breaking into ESB property. But it's because that's gone, they took the cap off and the seal off, and they put a new installing a new one in my house about 3 years ago, a smart meter, and they put one of these ones in. And now the thing is with that, and it's safer to have this in case anything damaged fuse box go on fire. So if all you have to do is shut that down, it's emergency main switch come from a meter. You can't knock the electricity off in the meter, and you can't knock the electricity from this part, the main part, and then into the meter. You can't knock them off. Only the electronical contractors from ESB networkers or any electrical contractors, they can knock that off, but we can't knock that off ourselves. By this thing here I'm showing you, we can just turn that off. You can turn the fuse box off, or you turn everything else off in the house. But the only thing is, that's on, this is on, and that's on. So the only thing is, the fuse box is shut off. So I shut it off there, and they just put a new, take that out, remove that, and just say comes up. I know it's a little fuse box, and they just put that in and rig it up, and goes from that main wire into the fuse box. And when that's all ready, that's all rigged up, air connect together live, all connect to the trip switches, all the breakers, the main fuse 63 amp, and all the parts I show you with the connectors for the earths and neutrals go together when it's all ready, rigged up. When it's ready to turn on, and you just turn this on, then you have power access, goes into the fuse box. Say this is an update, so it's just in case you're wondering. And that's the way it goes, and I'll see you up in the next video, and thanks for watching.